The toothpaste ingredients arrive at the factory in lorries like this one. It's called a tanker, and it looks a bit like a tube of toothpaste, doesn't it? This tanker is full of something called silica that looks like this, a white powder, and it gets pushed through the tubes way up into the factory. As well as silica, there are other ingredients to be used. And they have quite complicated names like xanthan gum or trisodium citrate dihydrate. Try saying that quickly. The first thing is they're all taken to a giant mixer. And this is it. All of the ingredients are mixed together in this giant tank to make a paste that we call toothpaste. But it's not quite ready yet. The toothpaste travels from the mixture all the way along these pipes into these big silver pots where some of the toothpaste gets its colour. We have red and blue, and look, you can even see some of the red and blue dye around the machine. Once the colour has been added, all the toothpaste gets pushed through these pipes that go down into the floor. Where do you think it goes next? It comes through the ceiling to the floor below, through these pipes. One pipe is carrying red toothpaste, the other blue toothpaste, and the last one, white toothpaste. Do you know how a toilet is made? Let's find out. How is it made?
A toilet.
We'll start here, in an enormous toilet factory. This busy factory makes over 1,500 toilets a day. Toilets are made from this. It's called clay. But it's not like the stuff you play with. This is a runny liquid. Clay comes from the ground, and it's used to make lots of different things. Like a bowl you can eat your breakfast from, a plant pot, or a piggy bank. It's being poured through this pipe into this huge tank. It's being swirled around to stop any lumpy bits. It looks a bit like a muddy shower, doesn't it? Next, it goes into another tank where it's bounced around. This bouncing around is called vibration. The clay is shaking around so much, it smooths out any small lumps and bumps. I've got my special camera with me so I can get up close to the clay and show you what it looks like. Here goes. Most houses and buildings are made with lots of bricks. The bricks are built into walls that hold up the roof and keep out the rain and wind, helping us to stay warm and safe. They have to be very strong and last a long time. But do you know how bricks are made? Let's go and find out. How is it made?
A brick.
Well, to make a brick, you have to start off in a place like this. It's called a quarry. A quarry is a place where we dig in the ground for things like rock or sand. This digger is digging for something used to make bricks. Clay. This is clay. It's found underground and it's full of water, which makes it all squishy. Just listen to the sound. All squelchy and soft. Clay can be squished into all sorts of shapes and it's used to make lots of different things. Clay makes dinner plates, plant pots. You might have even used clay yourself. Look, I've turned some clay into a little man. As well as clay, bricks are made from this, sand. How is it made?
A woolly hat.
Your woolly hat starts off in a place like this, a sheep farm. And that's because the wool that makes your woolly hat actually comes from a sheep's coat. And there are a lot of sheep here. There we go. This is Lewis, and he's going to show us how you get wool from a sheep. The first thing Lewis does is to clip the woolly coat off the sheep, and to do that, he uses this. It's called a shear, to do something called shearing.
The sheep are sheared one by one. The sheep is held very still and Lewis snips away quickly so that all the woolly coat is cut off.
A shear is a bit like a pair of scissors. Can you see? Lewis is using it to cut the wool off the sheep, but it doesn't hurt the sheep at all. It's just like having a haircut. Can you hear the sound of the shears? What does it sound like? I think it sounds just like a small engine.
How is it made?
A table.
To make a wooden table, you need a big tree, and you find those in a forest.
All wood comes from trees. This machinery is cutting the trees down so the wood can be used to make things.
Wow. These trees are about a year old. This one is nearly 5, and look, it's bigger than me. But finally, they'll grow to be this big. This is a special forest, and every time a tree is cut down, a new one is grown in its place. That way, we'll always have lots of wood to make new things, like a wooden table.
And here is a busy factory where these furniture makers turn wood into brilliant things we can all use. Like a front door, a stool you can sit on, or a toy you can play with. We're going to see how a table just like this one in the drawing is going to be made.